Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. When you think about the Detroit Lions, you can't help but feel a mixture of excitement and anticipation. This team has been on a steady rise over the past few seasons, transforming from perennial underdogs into legitimate contenders. And one of the names that has been quietly making waves, especially in the context of roster building and leadership, is Jalen Reeves-Maybin. Now, if you're a Lions fan, you remember his heyday a couple of years ago, when this guy was at the top of his game, not just on special teams but also as a leader in the locker room. It's fascinating to see how his career has evolved and what the future might hold for him, especially in this new NFL landscape where veteran leadership and special teams prowess are more valuable than ever. You see, Reeves-Maybin's story is one of resilience, grit, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. For those who follow the Lions closely, it's impossible to forget his incredible 2022 season, when he was not only heading to the Pro Bowl but also earning All-Pro second-team honors. That year, he was a force on special teams, tying for the league lead in special teams tackles, a feat that speaks volumes about his dedication and instincts. Not to mention, he was also a crucial part of the Lions' fake punt conversions, both running and passing, which kept opponents guessing and added an extra layer of unpredictability to Detroit's game plan. His contributions went far beyond the stat sheet, though. Reeves-Maybin was voted team captain, a testament to the respect he commanded within the locker room, and in 2024, he was even elected NFLPA president, showcasing his leadership qualities off the field as well. But as we all know, in the NFL, nothing is permanent, especially for players who rely heavily on special teams contributions. Despite his stellar 2022 season, the following year proved to be a different story. Injuries, tough competition, and some inconsistency hampered his performance and overall presence on the field. Last season, in particular, was riddled with setbacks for Reeves-Maybin. He suffered a significant neck injury that kept him out for most of the season, and when he did return to play the final few games, it was clear that the injury was still a lingering concern. The Lions, always prudent with their cap space and roster decisions, decided to cut ties with the veteran linebacker. This move freed up approximately $2 million in cap space, but it also sent a message that they weren't willing to take a big risk on his health moving forward. Now, this is where things get interesting. Reeves-Maybin, at 30 years old, still has a lot to offer, especially in the realm of special teams. Teams are constantly searching for those gritty, effort-driven players who can contribute on coverage units, make crucial tackles, and provide veteran leadership. Despite his injury issues and the fact that he's been somewhat overshadowed by other linebackers in the Lions' depth chart, like Alex Anzalone, Jack Campbell, Derek Barnes, and Malcolm Rodriguez, there is a compelling argument for him to find a spot somewhere else. His experience, leadership, and proven track record on special teams make him a valuable asset for any team that's looking to bolster that phase of the game. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. It's also worth noting that the Lions, in their typical fashion, made a strategic, cost-saving decision. They moved on from Reeves-Maybin not because they don't value what he brings, but because they had to consider their salary cap situation. With over $40 million in cap space, they could theoretically bring back a veteran like him if the circumstances were right, especially considering how well he knows the system. His previous coach, who is now the defensive coordinator, has a good relationship with him, which could open the door for a reunion should Reeves-Maybin be willing to accept a reduced role or incentives-based contract. And let's not forget, the NFL is a league where veteran players with leadership qualities and special teams expertise are highly sought after, especially during training camp and preseason. Many teams are always on the lookout for players who can step in quickly, contribute immediately, and provide that veteran voice in the locker room. Reeves-Maybin's resume checks all those boxes. His ability to lead by example, his instinct on special teams, and his experience in the league, 7 seasons with the Lions and a brief stint in Houston, make him a prime candidate for a training camp invite. In fact, it's pretty surprising that more teams haven't shown interest yet. Given his age, some might think his best days are behind him, but the reality is, he's still a proven professional who, with the right opportunity, can be a valuable piece on a roster. Teams value effort, grit, and leadership, qualities he has in abundance. It's not far-fetched to imagine him signing with a team just before the season starts, especially as a depth piece on defense and a cornerstone on special teams. It's a role that many NFL teams need filled, and Reeves-Maybin fits that mold perfectly. Now, looking at the Lions' perspective, the decision to release him was undoubtedly tough. It's not just about cap space, it's also about roster management and health concerns. But knowing the Lions' front office, they're always thinking a few steps ahead. They understand the importance of experienced players, especially those who have been through the grind, and understand what it takes to succeed in Detroit. If Reeves-Maybin can demonstrate that he's fully healthy and ready to contribute, don't be surprised if we see him back in a Lions uniform at some point, maybe during training camp or preseason, fighting for a spot on the roster once again. And speaking of the Lions, this team is loaded with talent and has set their sights high for the upcoming season. The additions they've made in the offseason, the development of their young players, and their strategic focus on maintaining a strong, versatile roster all point to a team that's serious about contending for the Super Bowl. The NFC North has become one of the most competitive divisions in the league, with the Vikings, Packers, and Bears all making moves to challenge Detroit's supremacy. But the Lions are determined to stay at the top, and every move they make, whether it's a draft pick, a trade, or a roster cut, is with that goal in mind. Now back to Reeves-Maybin. Despite the challenges, he's still a player who can make a difference. His leadership qualities and special teams prowess are assets that any team would find valuable. If he gets that opportunity to sign a training camp deal, he could very well surprise everyone with a strong preseason, earning his spot back and proving that he's still got plenty to offer in the NFL. Remember, he's just 2 years removed from being one of the league's best special teamers, and his experience in Detroit means he's familiar with the culture, the system, and the expectations. That kind of familiarity can be a huge advantage for a veteran trying to re-establish himself in the league. So, in summary, the story of Jalen Reeves-Maybin is one of perseverance, leadership, and the ongoing quest to find his place in a league that's constantly evolving. The Lions have moved on, but that doesn't mean his NFL story is over. If anything, it's just a new chapter waiting to be written. As the offseason continues and training camps approach, all eyes will be on Reeves-Maybin to see if he can secure one of those coveted roster spots, whether with Detroit or another team that recognizes the value he brings. His journey is a reminder for all Lions fans and NFL enthusiasts that sometimes, the most overlooked players are the ones who can make the biggest impact when given the right opportunity. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Detroit Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news. This team is always evolving, always pushing forward, and as fans, we're right there with them, cheering every step of the way. Whether it's big signings, roster moves, or storylines like Reeves-Maybin's potential return, we're here to keep you informed and engaged. Thanks for being part of this community, and as always, go Lions!